The first bullet shattered the silence of the Wyoming night, punching through the cabin door an inch from Elias Crow's head. Splinters stung his cheek like angry hornets. He dropped flat, heart slamming against his ribs, the Colt already in his fist before he even realized he'd drawn it. Outside, the blizzard screamed, wind hurling snow against the walls so hard the whole structure groaned. Inside, the fire spat and flickered, throwing wild shadows across the terrified face of the woman he had married only 19 days earlier. Clara, or whatever her real name was, crouched behind the overturned table, eyes wide, breath coming in short gasps. "He found me," she whispered, voice cracking. "God help us, he found me." Elias crawled to the window, glass frosted thick, barely able to see through the white fury beyond. Another shot cracked. The lamp exploded in a shower of kerosene and flame. Darkness swallowed the room except for the dying glow of the hearth. He cursed under his breath, kicked the burning wick into the ashes, stamped it out. Total black now, only the howl of the storm and the ringing in his ears. "Who?" he hissed. "Jonah," she said, so low he almost missed it. "My real husband." The words landed heavier than any bullet. Elias felt something cold and sharp twist deep in his gut. Not fear, not yet, but betrayal so pure it burned. He had ridden 30 miles through sleet to bring her here, built this cabin with his own hands, stood before a whiskey-breathed justice of the peace and promised to cherish her. And all of it a lie. A third shot. This one tore through the door at knee height. Elias rolled aside as wood chips flew. He fired back twice, blind, the muzzle flash lighting the room like lightning. Once, twice, then darkness again. He heard a hoarse scream outside, hooves churning snow, then silence broken only by the wind. "He won't leave," Clara said. Her voice trembled but held steady. "Not until I'm dead or he is." Elias pressed his back to the wall, reloaded by feel. "Then we make sure it's him." He had never killed a man. Shot rustlers at long range once, winged a horse thief who never came back, but never stood close enough to see the light leave someone's eyes. Tonight felt different. Tonight felt inevitable. Clara crawled to him, skirts dragging through broken glass. She touched his arm. He flinched away. "Don't," he growled. "I didn't mean for this," she said. I thought if I married again, changed my name, moved far enough. You thought I was stupid enough to hide you." He kept his eyes on the door. "And I was." She said nothing. Minutes dragged. The cold seeped through cracks, through his coat, into his bones. The fire was dead now. Breath fogged in front of their faces. Elias strained to hear anything beyond the wind. Boots in snow, a horse snorting, metal clicking. Nothing. Then a voice, low and calm, carrying over the gale like it was nothing. "Rose." Clara sucked in air so sharply it sounded like a sob. "That's your name?" Elias asked, not looking at her. It was. Her voice cracked. "Rose Callahan. Before I became Clara Henshaw. Before I became your wife." The man outside laughed softly. "Come out, darlin'. No sense freezin' in there. I ain't mad. Not really. Just disappointed." Elias felt the lie in every word. That voice carried murder wrapped in velvet. "Rose," Clara whispered, "he's never disappointed. He's always furious. And he never forgives." Elias shifted position, sighted down the barrel toward the faint outline of the doorway. "How many times has he found you before?" "Twice." She swallowed. "First time he beat me unconscious and dragged me back to Denver. Second time I shot him in the leg and ran. He limped for months after that. Swore he'd make me watch him kill whoever helped me. Next." Elias felt the words settle like lead. "And here I am. I didn't know he'd track me this fast," she said. "The letters I sent you, I used a friend's name, a false address. You thought wrong." Another shot. This one punched through the walls 6 inches from Elias's shoulder, showering him with dirt and chinking. He fired back 3 times, spacing the shots, hoping to drive the man back. A horse whinnied in pain. Hooves pounded away, then stopped again, farther off. "He's circling," Elias said, trying to find a blind side. Rose nodded. "He always does." Elias glanced at her. Even in the near dark he could see the bruise fading under her eye, the one she'd claimed came from falling off the porch step the week after the wedding. He had believed her, kissed the bruise, felt like a fool now. "Why didn't you just run?" he asked. I tried. Twice. Both times he found me before I got out of the territory. I needed a new life. A new name. A man who'd stand between me and him. She met his gaze. You were kind. You had land. You were alone. I thought. Maybe you'd never have to know. Elias laughed, bitter and short. I know now. Outside, Jonah called again. Rose, honey, I'm getting cold. Let's finish this. Send the farmer out first. I'll make it quick for him. Then you and me can talk about old times. Elias felt rage rise, hot and welcome. He stood, slow, keeping low. Stay here, he told her. No, she grabbed his sleeve. You don't understand. He's fast. Faster than anyone. He'll kill you before you clear the door. Then I'll die standing, Elias said. He shook off her hand. Better than dying on my knees wondering if my wife was ever real. He moved to the door, eased the bar up, cracked it an inch. Wind blasted in, snow stinging his face. He peered out. Nothing but swirling white. Then a shadow moved. Tall, dark coat, hat pulled low, maybe 50 yards off, using the lean-to for cover. Elias stepped out. The first bullet came so fast he felt the heat of it pass his ear. He dove left, rolled behind the water trough, snow cushioning the fall. Another shot splintered the trough above his head. Water gushed out, freezing instantly on his coat. He crawled, belly to the snow, around the side of the cabin. Wind tore at him, blinding, deafening. He reached the corner, risked a look. Jonah was moving toward the front again, cautious but confident. Elias waited until the man stepped into the open. He rose, fired. Jonah spun, coat flaring, fired back at the muzzle flash. Elias felt the slug tug his sleeve, hot and close. He fired again. Jonah staggered, clutched his side, went to one knee. Elias advanced, boots crunching, gun steady. Jonah looked up, blood on his teeth. You're good, farmer. Not good enough to miss twice, Elias said. Jonah laughed, coughed. She worth it. Elias didn't answer. He kept coming. Behind him, the cabin door banged open. Rose stepped out, dress whipping in the gale, a derringer in her hand, the little hideout gun she'd carried in her reticule since Cheyenne. Jonah's eyes flicked to her. There's my girl. Rose raised the derringer. Her hand shook. Stay down, Jonah. He grinned through the pain. You gonna finish what you started in Abilene? She hesitated. Jonah lunged. Elias fired first. The shot took Jonah high in the chest, knocked him backward into the snow. He landed hard, arms spread, staring at the storm-lashed sky. Blood spread dark beneath him, steaming in the cold. Rose dropped the derringer. It vanished into the drift. She walked forward slowly, knelt beside the body, touched Jonah's face, closed his eyes. Elias lowered his Colt. The wind filled the silence. She looked up at him. Snow clung to her lashes. I never wanted this. You brought it, he said. I know. They stood there while the blizzard raged on, two strangers bound by blood and lies. Elias finally spoke. Go inside. You'll freeze. She didn't move. What happens now? He looked at the body. At the cabin. At the endless white nothing around them. We bury him when the ground thaws. We wait out the storm. After that, he shrugged. After that, you decide. Decide what? Whether you stay, or whether you run again. She stared at him a long moment. And you? I stay, he said simply. This is my land, my house, my life. You married into it. That part wasn't a lie. Rose nodded slowly. She stood, walked past him into the cabin without looking back. Elias remained outside a while longer, watching snow cover Jonah's body, softening the sharp edges of death. The wind began to drop. The storm was ending. When he finally went inside, Rose had rekindled the fire. She sat on the floor near the hearth, hugging her knees. He barred the door, hung his coat, sat across from her. Neither spoke for a long time. At last she said, I never loved him. Not the way he wanted. He thought possession was love. Elias watched the flames. And me. She looked at him. I don't know yet. But when you stepped out that door, you weren't doing it for me. You were doing it because it was right. That matters. He nodded once. Dawn came gray and thin. The blizzard had blown itself out. Sunlight glittered on miles of unbroken snow. They wrapped Jonah in blankets, dragged him to the shed, laid him on frozen ground to wait for spring. Days passed. They spoke little. Rose cooked. Elias hunted when the wind allowed, brought back thin rabbits, split wood until his hands bled. She bandaged them without being asked. One evening, as the sun bled red across the snow, she came to him while he sharpened an axe. "I'm not leaving," she said. He paused, stone still on the blade. "Not because I have nowhere else," she continued. "Because I want to stay. If you'll have me, the real me, no more lies." Elias studied her. The hardness in her eyes had softened. The woman who'd stepped off the train in Cheyenne was gone. In her place stood someone scarred, honest, maybe even hopeful. He set the axe down. "We start over. Clean slate. No past. Just here. Just now." She nodded. Tears shimmered but didn't fall. "Just here. Just now." He reached out. She took his hand. Cold fingers, warm grip. Outside, the prairie stretched vast and quiet. The graves of mistakes lay under snow, waiting for thaw. But the cabin stood. The fire burned. And two people who had come together in deception began, slowly, to find something real.